Okay, so I thought I'd make a short video on how to use this scanner to find problems with your vehicle. So this Camaro runs like dog shit. It runs awful. So we hook up the scanner and we get on everything that we need on here for histograms and everything else. Now, one of the things that you're going to do is you start it up, and this vehicle is stuck in open loop Excel due to looks like some bad oxygen sensor or something else, so please ignore this because it shouldn't be in that open loop mode. So we had to force this vehicle into closed loop. Once this vehicle is forced into closed loop, you can see here on bank 2, which is the passenger side, that it is pulling fuel hard. You can see through the whole thing that it is pulling fuel, but only on one side. Now you'll notice that the oxygen sensor over here is oscillating like it should, and the oxygen sensor over here is not. These are brand new front oxygen sensors, and they're not shorted out. They're operating the way they should. Just they're not scanning properly because there's something wrong on the vehicle. Now, before we had it adding fuel. It was adding 20 to 30% fuel. What we ended up finding was an exhaust leak. So you can use this if you have an issue on one side or the other. You can go to that side and try to pinpoint mechanically what's wrong. Originally there was an exhaust leak. We fixed the exhaust leak, and now it's the other way around. So once it's the other way around, we can see that it has too much fuel and it's trying to get rid of fuel. So once it's trying to get rid of the fuel, we know that it probably has something else going on, which ends up being, on this specific car, ended up being bad spark plugs that were running completely rich. Sorry, someone came in my shop during that, so hopefully I didn't lose where I was at. But essentially what it ended up being was that it was super high on the last log, way up here, adding fuel. Find a huge exhaust leak, fix the exhaust leak, reset the fuel trims, and now it's pulling fuel like a mother. So it ends up being that it is actually running super rich on that side, and then it had this exhaust leak, so it's running even more rich. So what we're doing now is we're going to put spark plugs in it. Once we put spark plugs in it, we'll log it again and see where it's at. At that point, this should be closer to 0 and 0 here. And then at that point, we'll check the oxygen sensor oscillation and see if we can get them to oscillate correctly. There may be one more issue that we need to fix, but it's just a quick video basically explaining what you can do to try and find issues based on the oxygen sensors and how they read. And then later on we might make a thing on how to show horsepower and torque on your log. So that should be it. If anybody has any questions, let me know.